Welcome back to my classroom. I'm glad you're here today because we're going to talk about figurative language. Figurative language is the use of words in a way that is different in order to create greater interest, make comparisons, and paint a more relatable description of something. Personification, metaphors, onomatopoeia, idioms, simile, and alliteration are all kinds of figurative language. Well, what is an onomatopoeia? Besides being a very interesting word, an onomatopoeia is a word that names a sound but also sounds like that sound. For example, the word bang actually sounds like what happens when there's a bang. And the word pop makes a similar sound to when something pops. Think about popcorn. And when you read the word crash, it actually sounds like there's a crash happening. Now let's look at some examples of an onomatopoeia in a sentence. The bike crashed. The owl hooted. You can almost hear the hoo, hoo sound that owls make. The popcorn popped. Look at all that popping popcorn. And what does a bee do? Well, a bee buzzes. Can you hear the bzzz sound? Now that we've learned about onomatopoeia, let's look at another kind of figurative language. That is called personification. Personification means to use words, both written and spoken, to attribute human traits to objects. Let's look at some examples of personification in a sentence. The lightning danced across the sky. Now we know that lightning actually can't dance, but when you read that sentence, you can just picture in your mind all the lightning strikes going across the sky. And another example, the stars winked in the dark night sky. Now we know that stars don't have eyes and they can't blink, but when we read that sentence, we can see them twinkling across the sky in our mind. Let's look at this example. The mountains are calling my name. Now we know the mountain actually doesn't say, "Oh, Miss Pope," it's us, the mountains. But that means that we want to go to the mountains because they're so important to us. Now that we've learned onomatopoeia and personification, let's look at alliteration, my very favorite kind of figurative language. Alliteration is a series of words that begin with the same consonant sounds. One of the best ways to learn alliteration is to look at the characters in the Marvel and DC universe. Spider-Man's real name is Peter Parker. Do you hear the "p, p" sound at the beginning of Peter and Parker? What about in the Superman comics and movies? Lex Luthor, Lois Lane. They both start with la. And do you know the Incredible Hulk's real name? His name is Bruce Banner. Ba. Now let's look at some examples of alliteration you may hear all the time. Taco Tuesday, the T sound. And here's another one you might know. Building blocks, the B sound. And let's look at this sentence. She sheared Sheldon's sheep. It's not just the S sound, but it's the sh sound at the beginning of every word. Let's look at the sentence. The little llama looked at the lights. You may notice that not every single word starts with the L sound, just the most important ones. That's still alliteration. And in the sentence, Billy bought a brand new bell, all the important words start with the B sound. Wow, that was fun. If you want to learn more fun things about my classroom, like this video and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.